Big Zeus. Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Yeah, supposed to be the people's house. I make it like a trap.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Power to the people. Yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue. That's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through. I got the keys. In the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Yeah, signing for the fam. Yeah, you know my game strong.
Sassy Fire, good morning.
Chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Woo! Truth is hitting hard. I bury you inside the booth.
Happy Monday.
Vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash.
Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bags. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Balance in my hands, but the system's overweight.
They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap.
Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops.
Power plays all day, I'm trapping for the vote.
Big Zeus.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Power's in the air. You know it is.
We knocking on the door.
Big Zeus. We wanna hear your soul.
Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke.
Good morning, Dolphin.
Them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold.
Greatest story ever told.
I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the
Prosperity
West
with Erica. Good morning.
Dreams come true. All I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution jumping. Yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked. This power never divides. Spitting for the block. Yeah, buses make them wanna fight. 16.
Now, big bro.
Do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power.
Get it back. Money talks loud. Time to clap.
Fight for the keys.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You got your hair done? You getting your hair done this morning? Let's go. That's a good thing to do. You gotta riz it up.
We knocking on your door. It's the people's house. We wanna hear your soul.
Big Zeus.
Big Zeus.
All right, let's get this show started. We don't got all morning, ladies and gentlemen, to do the Lord's work.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
I feel like I'm stuck in a cycle.
Oh, we all feel the same way, don't we? Isn't that amazing?
Stuck in time.
Let's do it. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. You know we came with
Can't
this.
escape it. It's like deja vu. It's me, Zeus. It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming.
I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta
Shout out
take
from Pittsburgh. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage, your tank's full of gas.
I play the game.
I used to say that. It meant a lot. It meant something different last time. This is how it's supposed to happen when your picture made it.
The algorithm turned to a maniac.
I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. You know what I'm saying? Happy 420. You saw that?
And if they is my ex, that mean they left me.
They don't give me plus.
They text me.
All right, here it goes, ladies and gentlemen. You know what time it is. Here goes. Zeus haters.
Call me the master with a new whip.
Zeus hater alert coming up. Right here, right here. There it goes.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus.
Just a lie. They always come.
Yeah,
drug test.
It was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off.
It's like deja vu.
You hear what they say? Good morning, Chase.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
They make this stuff up as they go. Seriously. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Happy 420. It's Monday. And once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host. I am your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here. But before we get started with that, let's take care of some very, very important housekeeping items. Who did that? W's in the chat for my brother, Itchy. What's going on, bro? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. You see how Itchy came in, sturdy and early, rizzing up the live. I mean, that's a real trooper out here doing God's work. Y'all show some love to brother Itchy out there. a real one in the battlefield, standing up against all this evil and wickedness that's going on in this country. He's been doing it for years on this app. The game is to be told, not sold. Right W's in the chat for Brother Itchy. Make sure you're following him. But once again, we're back to do the real work that it takes to save the United States of America, and it's one show at a time, one conversation at a time. Actually, we could do it multiple conversations at a time, and what we do is we confront these Trump voters in real time, and we expose their wickedness, because they got a bunch of wicked hearts. I mean, every day I see these folks, they go to church every Sunday, and then you wake up, they go into the church, they come out a worse devil than they were when they went in. I don't know what they're doing in those churches, but we're going to continue to expose it. And what we do is we expose their hypocrisies, because we know one thing about MAGA. Number one, it's done. MAGA's done. W's in the chat. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. We are sick and tired of these Trump voters running around here trying to portray themselves as the victims when we all know that they are the harassers, they are the abusers, they are the scum of the earth. These are some of the most evil and wicked people the Bible warned us about, and we didn't know that they would be walking amongst us, but we exposed them. And so I must do what I do every show. Before I get started, let me introduce myself. I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I am honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. Okay, a lot of these things are debatable, but I'll take them. In this kingdom, it's true. The first H is because I'm the most honest person on social media. Second H is because I'm the most humble person on social media. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which is arguably one of the most important H's of them all, it is truly because I am and will always remain the most handsome. I woke up like that. Seriously. Monty, thank you for sharing the live. Yes, if you want to riz the live up, please share it out to every single person you know that is under a strong demonic spiritual influence that is allowing them to literally vote for their own destruction and worship the Antichrist. Right? Do we all agree that Donald Trump has the spirit of the Antichrist? Let's just be honest about that. Can we all agree with that? How many of you out there believe Donald Trump has the spirit of the Antichrist? Who says no? W's in the chat. Thank you, Takesha. All right. So if you do not believe that Donald Trump has the spirit of the Antichrist, do me a huge favor. Send us a guest request, and then you come up here and you show us and tell us why you don't believe Donald Trump doesn't have the spirit of the Antichrist. This man is somebody that, ladies and gentlemen, Ginger. Thank you. This is somebody who literally wants to end civilization, and you're going to sit up here and say he does it seriously. But honestly, if you're a Trump supporter and you cannot handle having an honest conversation about who your daddy is without crashing out, and crashing out comes in many forms. Crashing out comes in the form of over-talking me, the host, or over-talking the guest when we're trying to talk, right? If you can't handle a serious conversation about who Donald Trump really is, and you're going to crash out, do us a huge favor and leave this live right now, because what I guarantee you I'll do. Who said that? Oh, somebody, I thought I heard. I'll make you hate yourself. I will make you hate yourself, all right? And I'll ruin your breakfast. I'll ruin your lunch, your dinner, everything in between, all right? And literally, I have people sending me nasty messages. You know, I was in a live the other weekend, or over the weekend, and you were there. I go on to Brothers Dame's live. It was against, but I didn't want to do it, but he was crying so much because we beat him up so much on my show. We beat Dame down on this show. W to the chat. I gotta say this. The way you all beat up these Trump voters in the comments, I don't always look at the comments because I just lock in. But, Zeus, stop beating me up. Stop beating me up. So I go up in there, and I'm talking to him. And eventually they say, Zeus, why do you continue to just go hard in the paint against us? All we're trying to do is save this country. And I said, listen up, champ. You cannot honestly think that the American people are as foolish as you when it comes to the things that Donald Trump has been saying out of his mouth. The man literally promised us cheaper everything. Didn't he? He promised us cheaper groceries. I'm not one of these people that goes around with a book on economics, a book on foreign policy, a book on racism and all those things. I don't do that. I literally just say, oh, okay, I understand the difference between more money in my pocket and less money in my pocket. And so I was explaining to these demons, I said, listen up. When a president actually wages a war against your finances, that's an actual act of aggression, right? That's actually him going after your livelihood. You play with my life, you play with my money, you play with my life. That's how I was raised, right? You play with my money, you play with my life. How many of us agree with that? I just thought of that. How many of us agree with that? You play with my money, you play with my life, right? And so what we've seen is since Donald Trump got back into office, and I knew it was a bad sign. Soon as Donald Trump got back into office, didn't we see the airplanes start falling out of the sky? I knew it was I knew it was the devil when I saw that. Then the Cybertruck started blowing up. I said, welcome to hell. These folks literally voted for this. Right? They literally voted for their own demise. And then we had, the natural disasters out there in Kerr County. Did you all see that? The natural disasters came, and it's like this man is literally bringing wickedness up on the face of the earth. WVIP. But you know what they said? Oh, I got a problem with illegal immigrants coming into the country. No, you don't have a problem with illegal immigrants coming into the country. What you got a problem with is your utility bill. What you got a problem with is your car insurance. Did you know owning a car has gone up 36% since Donald Trump got back into office? I mean, this man is honestly hell on earth. And every single day, the man wakes up with a new lie. I know a lot of people, okay, we get it, right? We know a lot of folks out there, they do the thing called scamming. We know a lot of scammers out there, right? And the scammers wake up every day. And you know how most of you wake up, you clock in to go to work. Scammers wake up every day and they think to themselves, what can I do today to make some money? What kind of lick can I pull to make some more money? And that's exactly what Donald Trump and his administration has done to the American people. Every single day, they wake up, not just with one grift. They got multiple grifts. Charlie Kirk dies, send an email out. He gonna call himself Jesus, send an email out. They like shoes, send them the gold shoes. They like phones, send them the cell phones every day. And that's just on the email tip. But then behind the scenes, you see the market manipulation. You see the gas prices. You see the tariffs and all these things. And you're going, wow, do I really hate people? You know what he tried to bring up transgender issues. I said, you don't care about transgender issues. I asked the average Trump voter, name one time you've actually played sports with a woman. Right? W's in the chat for Rick. Are there any Trump voters out there? Come on up here. Name one time you've actually played sports with a woman. It's the laziest people. These folks can't even play sports. None of these Trump voters can actually get on the court and play sports. They can't get on the field and play sports. They can't run, but they got so much to say. And this is why I do what I do. If you're a Trump supporter and you don't like hearing the truth, do me a favor and leave this show, because I promise you, I'm going to make you very, very uncomfortable. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned,
yeah.
If you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy
Thank you.
in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And with that, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed. I take no responsibility for feelings that might get hurt. Who is this right here? Devil Dog. How can I help you? Devil Dog.
You sound like a fucking cuck, bro. Stop fucking crying like a bitch. Like, your shit is corny. You fucking scam people all.
Hey. Anybody want to talk to Devil Dog? Because what I heard was pain. Devil Dog. Oh my God. Oh my. Gas prices. You see how those gas prices really got Devil Dog? I've never met Devil Dog, but Devil Dog, you gave me the victory as soon as you came up here and were angry. You know that? Because think about it. If you were really happy and truly winning, you would have came up here and said, "Hey, Zeus, my daddy has secured that border and he's actually brought in those grocery prices down. I got more money in my pocket. My 401k is real healthy. I got eggs. And actually, I'm getting ready to lace up my boots and go fight this war for my daddy in Iran. I am the happiest person on earth." That's what you would have done, devil dog. But instead, you want to come up here and literally break the one rule I said at the top of the show. I said, listen, if you cannot handle having a serious conversation about the things that are actually happening in the country without crashing out, then I asked you to leave. And what did you show us? That you clearly don't understand English. You don't know how to listen. And that's why I do this with great pleasure. Devil dog. You named yourself rightfully so, devil dog. You should just drop the dog on it though, because dogs are good. But the devil, I don't give the devil any room on this show. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. I should just do this and go on about my morning. This is all I wake up to do. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending the first Trump voter who can't control themselves because they're truly, truly possessed by an evil and wicked spirit. Their mama doesn't love them. Their daddy doesn't love them. They don't have a woman. You can tell that right now, right? Out of shape. Just totally the worst of the scum of the earth. Join me in sending that demon straight to hell. Easy work. Easy work. You know what they call that? Easy merch.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA.
Hey, honestly, MAGA, why are you all so upset with me? If I ask every Trump voter that gets up here and they start yelling, why are you upset with me? They can't give you a solid answer. I'm not the one implementing any of these policies. The Democrats aren't the one implementing any of these policies. And the game you all started, you know, when Charlie Kirk lost his life and you all ran around blaming the Democrats and our rhetoric for that. And then we found out where we're at today. It wasn't the Democrats. It was actually the Trump administration and his FBI, his DOJ. The cat's out of the bag. You cannot blame the Democrats for a single thing that is going wrong in the United States of America as of today. And you could go back 4 years under Joe Biden. You could go back all the way to Obama. None of that counts. They've played their game. They got their W. They've left. They're gone. Why can't you have a serious conversation about the president you voted for? And I'll tell you why. Never mind. I don't want to get taken off of TikTok. Just know it's a W, Zeus. I let some of the other folks come up here. Whenever I don't want to get taken off of TikTok, I say, okay, bring up other people who don't care about doing the real work that it takes to really stick it to a lot of you weak individuals. And I call them weak because, like I said, I was in Dame's Live, and you know what they said? Somebody tell me where Zeus lives. This is what they do when they don't have any answers to why we're getting screwed right now here in the United States, right? I don't want you to come hang out with me and ask me to go out to lunch or dinner with you. I really don't. What I want is my money back. It's very simple, all right? Thank you. Leah, thank you. Not just me, all of the people, right, Ange? All of us who are in the chat this morning listening, all right, we want our money back. We know, number one, Doge was a huge lie. All this so-called fraud, waste, and abuse. No one was arrested, but billions of dollars spent. Aid was cut all over the place. Okay, so there's savings. Where's the money? It was our money, right? Oh, what about the tariffs? Oh, remember when the tariff thing, Liberation Day, started and MAGA was out here arguing to us? We need the tariffs because we need to reduce the amount of F rugs coming into the country. Remember, they changed the excuses. Oh, we needed to put China in its place. Oh, we needed to bring manufacturing jobs back here to the United States and start paying the American people a lot more. None of that was true. And then he said, oh, we're going to give them a tariff rebate check. We haven't gotten a single thing. So who are you really mad at? The Democrats? Give me a break. And don't even get me started on the Epstein files. I could go all day and talk about the Epstein files. The one thing that really, honestly, grinds my gears about the Epstein files, and I'm just going to make this a new rule. I'm going to make this a new rule. Do I have any conservative women out there? Any conservative women out there? This is going to be my new rule. If you come onto my platform, or if you ever run into me out there in the wild, right, and we're talking about the Epstein issue, you are not allowed to bring up to me the fact that you were a victim of SA. Just don't do it. And it's not because I don't care. I'm just not there right now. And so I'm just going to put it out there. I don't know how to have compassion for you when I know that you don't have compassion for those survivors and those victims of Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know how to have compassion for you when you don't believe E. Jean Carroll. So don't bring it up to me, because I'm going to politely ask you. I'm going to say, ma'am, with all due respect, I don't want to have that conversation right now. Let's stay on topic and let's talk about the fact that your daddy is a disgusting and sick and vile person. And you don't need any information. You don't need anything to come out of the Epstein files to prove that. I'll give you an example. Of what I mean when I say he's a disgusting and vile individual. You remember the Access Hollywood tape? When he said, when you're a star, women let you do it. Do what? Grab them by the you-know-what. Listen, I'm a man, and Dame doesn't think that I am, but Dame, trust me, I've done a lot of living. Bro. And I'm what they call in the animal kingdom an apex predator. I'm used to eating at the top of the food chain, champ. And in all of my days of being Tarzan, I have never, ever said those words. Think about that. Out of all of my days being Tarzan in the jungle, where's my Jane at? You know what I'm talking about. I have never uttered those words. Are there any real men out there that have been swinging in the jungle and used those words? Is that what real men do? No, you don't got to do it. You know why you don't got to do it? Because when you're guess what? When you're the Rizzler, the game comes to you. You don't got to do that. You don't even got, you almost have to be, you got to be on the side of being like, no, thank you. I'm in a relationship. I can't do anything, but oh, you're so nice. But what Donald Trump is doing? Absolutely not. W's in the chat for Dolphin. And a lot of you conservative men, you don't know what it's like to be the Rizzler. You don't know what it's like to be at the top of the food chain. That's why that one guy, he got mad at that guy that in 8th grade, Brother Jamal, that walked onto the basketball court. Didn't even have to practice. Brother Jamal just totally got all the love, got all the accolades, and he was a white guy. And ever since then, he's hated black people, right? And remember that guy? You all are so used to just being losers. So you got to try to cheat to win. You know, you got to try to pull a little trick to get a girl to come hang out with you. I said, no. And what Donald Trump said, I said, oh, no. That's not being on top of your game. That's actually predatory behavior. And you know it. You don't need to read the Epstein files. You heard him say it. What about when Donald Trump said this? And I'm not going to let this go.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird. Stop.
If and you got to talk to yourself because the tone of which Donald Trump talks, it kind of just sounds comical, but actually go back and play it and say it. What would happen if I was in a room with my grandmama, and Dame, I'm talking to you in particular, the Black of species. What if you was in a room and you had your grandmama right there, your auntie, your mama, your sisters, right? And your nieces right there, and you as a man go in there and say,
if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
What would happen? What would happen? See, you got to understand, this isn't just what's happening in the room with those people on camera and the mics. This is actually happening in real life. What would your mom say to you if you were to utter these words?
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Yo, mama. Actually, your daddy. Your daddy. You hear that song, Oops, Upside Your Head? I said, oops, oops. Remember that song? Remember that track? Yeah. And rightfully so. What? Why is that the first thing that comes to your mind? Oh, but he didn't do anything to E. Jean Carroll? Give me a break. You know what they say? If it walked like a duck, quacks like a duck, well then doggone it, it's a duck. And I get really upset with the brothers out here that act like that behavior is acceptable, knowing that they get their behinds taken to task if they was in these streets talking like that. You know good and well you couldn't be riding around in your community talking reckless like that. So why are you up here defending Donald Trump doing it? And you don't really see how crazy this looks, right? I would give you more props if you was doing it because Obama did it. All right, I'd be like, all right, that's just him being, I throw in some, okay, he's just doing that because that's the first black president. Okay, I get it. He shouldn't do it, but at least I'd have a little more respect for it. But you got to be really outside of your equilibrium to go and defend Donald Trump at this level. And subconsciously, they know that's what they're doing. Because when I talk to them, they go, well, I don't want to act like I'm defending him and Epstein, but no. Whenever you say something like that, well, I don't want to do this and that, but no, it is exactly that. You are literally defending Donald Trump and his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Am I right, Rick? Am I right? Rick W's in the chat for Rick. I mean, I didn't want to get up this morning and preach. I didn't want to get up this morning and have to do a little bit of a sermon this morning, but it was just in me that I had to do it. You know, we're sitting here right now. The country is under decline. The country is suffering. WVIP. Uh-oh. You know they get mad when you riz up the live. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, devil dog. Hey, devil dog. Don't come up here again and make me hit the cheat code on you. I've been really nice the past few weeks. Because I'm hoping that maybe one day one of these demons will actually have a breakthrough moment and come up here and say, hey, Zeus, you know what? You've been right the entire time. All the money that I've made on TikTok wasn't worth it. My soul is actually worth a lot more. I don't want to go out like this. I actually want to be a positive member of society. I've been hoping for the past few weeks I'd hear that, but we haven't heard it. Have any of you out there heard a Trump supporter? Good. Thank you, Ange. Ange. Have any of you out there, since Donald Trump has been exposed at a highest level as a war criminal, right? S-Air, he's a liar, and he's been in the files. I forgot I needed to mention this. Because I got to stop this situation that's going on the right now. And Ange, you were there. I go into the live, and this is why I say I don't want to talk to the conservative women. And she knows who she is. Zeus, this is their theory. If Donald Trump were in the Epstein files, don't you think Joe Biden would have released the files? How many of you have heard that before? Because we got to stop this lie right here, dead in its tracks. How many of you have heard that before? How many of you have heard that hypothetical? Hypothetical. It's a hypothetical situation, right? And so let me explain something to you simple-minded heathens, liars. Let me explain something to you. What difference would it have made if Joe Biden would have released it? In light of these things that we know are true. One, you don't even believe Joe Biden won the 2020 election fair and square. You don't believe that. So when you don't believe what we believe is true, the Bible says, how can two walk together unless they're in agreement? So if you choose to believe a lie, then the rest of this stuff it's a waste of our time to go down this road with you. You believe Joe Biden didn't win, and it gets worse. You actually believe, this is MAGA. I could point out so many things. You don't believe that Donald Trump lied about Epstein and the flights. You don't believe the video footage of Donald Trump dancing with Jeffrey Epstein like he was in a P. Diddy video. You don't believe this stuff. Do you believe the indictments that the Biden administration had against your daddy on multiple fronts? 4 different indictments. You deliberately chose to not believe any of that. So if we would have thrown the Epstein thing in there, you would have deliberately chosen not to believe it. So do not bring that angle up, okay? Because it won't work. The best way for the Epstein information to come out is under the Trump administration. Oh, well, he was the only president that went after Epstein. Well, where's Epstein at right now? Because for some strange reason, he mysteriously disappeared off the face of the earth. See, y'all don't believe the facts. Uh-oh. And you know what really gets them? They actually believe that he was, the Butler incident. They believe that that was a true attempt on his life. A lot of you believe that. So when we're dealing with people who are going to lie, we got to treat them accordingly. No, don't come up here and ask me about any of this stuff, because right now I'm dealing with somebody who's clearly delusional. The information, the one thing that MAGA hates when you bring up is the fact that, okay, you know what? Under Bush, under Obama, under Biden, there was no law on the books that required the president to put out the information about Epstein. There was none. So let's just leave it at that. But you know what? Under one of these presidents, Donald Trump, there actually is a law that requires that president to put out the information about Jeffrey Epstein, and he refuses to do it. So that's why the other administrations didn't do it. There was no law on the books. Oh, Zeus, don't say that. No. Right is right, wrong is wrong. If it's a law in the books, then it needs to be followed. That's what the president, he runs the executive branch. He should do what the law requires him to do and release the information. He should not be moving Ghislaine Maxwell to a minimum security prison. Oh, well, why did he do that, Zeus? Because she could blackmail him. She knows everything about him and Epstein. She knows what he did. Donald Trump only cares about himself. So the lesson here is, under Donald Trump is when the law was passed. The other presidents, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, the law wasn't on the books. So they didn't have to release it. But we do have Donald Trump now, and there is a law, and he has to release the files, and he's choosing not to release all of the files. Oh, Zeus, he's released all the files. No, he hasn't. He's only released 50% of them. There's over 3 million documents still being unreleased. Oh, Zeus, what about... Oh, no, I said, no, go look up Jane Doe number 4. She was so credible, Jane Doe number 4, she was so credible that the FBI had to talk to her twice. She was so credible. You know what they talked to her twice about? What Donald Trump did to her when she bit his thing. Yeah, she was so credible that the Epstein estate had to settle with her. So what more are you looking for? You have the evidence you need. So what we know when we're dealing with these Blaga and MAGA species is they just literally choose to do wicked and evil things. And so because of that, let me go ahead and do it again. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. Yeah, they spoke to her 4 times. And yet these so-called Christian conservative women get out here on TikTok, take everybody's money and still worship Donald Trump. And then they go, oh, but Zeus, I was a victim. Well, explain why you became the abuser. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons straight to hell.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA. Damn.
Yeah. And again, when these people get up here and they try to come talk to me, I've heard every insult. I've been on this app for 6 years. I have heard every single insult, vile and disgusting thing that these folks can say to me. And it used to bother me. It really did. But when you're at peace with who you are, you realize what they're saying doesn't even affect me anymore. That is nothing but the demon inside of them going through convulsions, and you're hearing the demon speak when they come on my show. They come on my show because they avoid it because they fear. They really truly do fear being exposed, being seen. But where the country is at right now, you can see it. I can show you things right now, MAGA, that'll literally prove it. I'll give you an example of what I mean when I say you can see it. Look at this, MAGA. You can see it for yourself. Nobody believes you. I don't have to do anything. MAGA. Check it out. Look at this. No. Just let that sit there. Just let that sit there on your subconscious right now. I don't got to say anything. Read. President Trump's approval ratings. So what we have, and I'm going after Blaga. Blaga clearly isn't good at math. This is, the ship is sinking. Stop supporting this guy. That's what this is. We're heading off of a cliff. Stop supporting him. Get to the safety net. Get to the safety rafts. Hurry up. But some of these folks out here, they're saying, I trust in Trump. I believe that this is what they say to themselves. Uh-oh, who said that? One day he's going to wake up and he's going to prove to everyone that the whole time he was wrecking the world, that there was some sort of secret plan. And I'm going to come out as the smartest person ever, but I just got to hold on a little longer. I know the water's around my ankles now, but Donald's going to bail me out sooner or later. And then, the water's around my waist. Oh, don't worry. He's got a plan. Okay. Bon voyage. Okay.
President Trump's approval rating is sinking as Americans express growing concern about the war in Iran. The latest NBC News poll has Trump's approval at 37%, the lowest of his second term, while 63% disapprove. The poll finds 2/3 of Americans disapprove of Trump's handling.
Look at that. Woo! You can't make this stuff up. I would read it to them. But I want them to just remain ignorant
Of the war with Iran, including 54% who strongly disapprove. This all comes as voters say the economy remains a top.
Look at that.
According to the poll, 29% say it's the issue that matters the most to them right now.
You know what? And this goes right back to that live that I was in over the weekend. They somehow have convinced themselves that they can set aside how terrible of a person Donald Trump is because they like some of his policies. This is what they tell you. But it's not even what Zeus is saying. All right? Because in this country, we have a democracy. You know how that works, right? For the most part, people get a choice and they get to vote, and their voices are a reflection of their preferences. All right? Their beliefs, their values. And what we all are witnessing at the highest level possible is that there is no current policy coming out of the Trump administration that the majority of Americans believe is good. Not one. So look at where you've put yourselves. You know he's a bad person, but you're defending him because of his policies, but his policies are also bad. So in other words, you're defending bad. Because it's him, he's bad, policy's bad. So you're defending bad. And on this show, I don't just call it bad, because Michael Jackson made the song Bad. That was actually cool. It's not that kind of bad. I call this evil. I call this wickedness. You are literally defending wickedness. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. You really can't. I just do this sometimes, I just do this to make myself feel good.
The new developments tonight coming as the president faces new pressure here at home, with numbers now showing his approval rating sinking. Julie Sirkin is at the White House for us tonight. Julie, good evening.
Hallie, good evening to you. The war in Iran is dragging President Trump's approval rating down. Just 37% of American adults approve of his performance. In December, that number was 42%. But check this out. 2/3 of Americans say they do not approve of Trump's handling of the war. The economy also a major factor. The situation in Iran is causing oil and gas prices to soar and inflation to spike. Just 13% strongly approve of the economy under this president. Now, all of this is creating new pressure for the White House to quickly reach a deal with Iran to end the war and start bringing those prices down. The next 48 hours.
All right, so number one, I'm going to say W to Iran. I'm going to say W to Iran. I'm going to say W to Iran because, Iran understands they don't play fair, all right? We know Iran doesn't play fair, all right, ladies and gentlemen? Seriously, what else do we got right here? Okay, look at this. I like this. This is when I like it when they put these pictures up on X. When X starts cooking Donald Trump, it's up. All right, right. What does it say? Donald Trump. White men have these violent fantasies of unaliving anyone who touches their daughter, but then a rapist comes along and then they vote for him and put flags on their trucks. Sick. W to Fox Shamity. Let's go. What else do I want to see right here, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, yeah, look at this. Oh, yeah, oh, Zeus, don't bring up these poll numbers. Look at these poll numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. What do I want to show MAGA? Right here, net approval rating by issue. Why are we even debating this stuff? Why are we debating this stuff? Underwater on every single issue. Inflation and prices, way underwater. Jobs in the economy, way underwater, almost 20%. Foreign policy, immigration, crime. You see all these things he's underwater on. Only states, look at this, net approval rating by state. Red means bad, gray means good. So Idaho, Wyoming, and West Virginia, those are the only states that seem to think Donald Trump is doing something good. But for the rest of the country, we all are sitting here going, this man has no clue what the heck he's doing. He's ruining the country. He's ruining the world. His net approval rating by demographic. Look at this. You see the line? He's not above the line on with any demographic. But I'll read this. As with other Republican politicians before him, white and male voters are among the most likely to approve Trump's job performance, while younger voters and members of ethnic minorities are amongst the most strongly disapproving. People who have the most education, college graduates and postgrads, do you even know what a postgrad is? Are least likely to support Trump. Voters of pension age, normally a solidly Republican bloc, are surprisingly lukewarm on the president. Any questions? Are there any questions? I'm actually asking that question of MAGA. MAGA, do you have any questions about this information? Do you understand why you're not really arguing with Democrats? You're arguing with yourself at this point, because the majority of the country sees the truth. No one's believing Donald Trump's lies. And I'll give you good. Something happened this morning. You know it's bad when Ro Khanna could go on the Fox News. Look at what Ro Khanna did on Fox News and just totally dog walks Maria Bartiromo, because the lies, the spin, none of it's going to work anymore. You all know what's coming during the midterms. You all know it. And if you didn't know, you might want to pay attention, all right? You might want to pay attention.
Same $1.7 billion he told Congress was frozen Iranian assets. Now, there was a back channel to Tehran through Valerie Jarrett, active for 2012 to 2024. This was after he left office. So, it was almost like a shadow government. He also sent pellets of cash in a plane to Iran. Now, why would you send money to Iran knowing that they are building a nuclear weapon and they are the leading sponsor of terrorism?
Barack Obama was a great statesman who left America much safer. I wouldn't put Donald Trump in the same paragraph. The reality is when President Obama left, because of the great efforts of people like Valerie Jarrett, we had 97% of the enriched uranium out. The reality is we didn't have 13 American service members dead. The reality is we never had gas go up from $2.30 to $4. The reality is we did not give China more role in the region. Let me finish, Maria. I'll let you finish. We didn't give China more role in the region. We did not give the IRGC a more hardline regime in there. You know why? Because Obama actually did his homework.
Facts.
He actually tried to engage in statesmanship. He got China, Russia, the entire European allies on board with getting Iran on a path to not having a nuclear weapon. All Trump did is listen to Netanyahu. That's his entire foreign policy. And you know what? I resent the fact that Israel is going to tell the United States what to do. The American president should call the shots in this country.
Hey, man, look at that W. Ro Khanna, dog walking Maria on her own program. See, and this is why I keep telling you Trump voters. I say, you're on the defensive. You are actually doing a lot worse than Vice President Kamala Harris had to do when the Democrats were on the defensive. And we were on the defensive. When I go back and I look at the footage, I go, oh, okay, yeah, we kind of had a couple of missteps. All right, I'll give you that. But there's no excuse for MAGA to have missteps like the Democrats had. Actually, a lot worse, because you were supposed to get a president that was more competent than Joe Biden. You were supposed to get a vice president that was more competent than Vice President Kamala Harris. And what we're seeing right now is literally the exact opposite. I got to talk about this. Number one, this happened over the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and go through these talking points real quick. Let's see. Marjorie Taylor Greene, ladies and gentlemen, she says, I'm not calling the Butler assassination a hoax or the Butler incident. Sorry, TikTok. But there's a lot of questions that deserve public answers. I'm not asking why Trump won't release the information about Matthew Crooks. Did he actually act alone? If not, who is behind him and who helped him? Think about where Marjorie Taylor Greene is at right now. The Democrats, we've been there the whole time. None of us bought it. None of us bought it. We all knew. We all knew. We all knew it was a lie. Right? Didn't we all know the Butler incident was a staged event? Look at this. Look at this. I mean, these folks are coming out of the woodwork right now. MAGA is. MAGA is. MAGA. Yeah. Here it goes. Hold on. Here he goes. Here he goes. Here he goes. We have Trisha Hope. Look at this. Hold on. She says, Has this woman been identified? I know the Trump team. She used to go to all of Trump's rallies. She writes, I know the Trump team rally team knows her name and checks her ID because you don't sit behind Trump in a rally without VIP tickets, and you must provide ID and be selected by the rally team. I know this because I have sat behind Trump at rallies, and that is the process. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Now MAGA is literally going through the footage.
No. Watch this shit, dude. Watch. Watch. She sits down. Yep. Watch this.
If you want to
puts the sign up.
Something that said, take a look at what happened.
Shots go off.
She's completely normal. And then watch.
And then she's got her.
What the fuck? What the fuck? People are freaking out.
And she's filming.
And she's just like right there. She's not even freaking the fuck out. What the fuck?
You see, MAGA? The truth is really starting to come out. Corey Compatore, he was used. This is what Brian Krasteen wrote. All right. And it's actually valid. Thoughts on Trump's Butler incident. Corey Compatore, he was used in this plot. Someone had to lose their life. Otherwise, it would have been much easier to claim that it was a hoax. They unalived Corey, likely because he was a real-life hero, one people would rally behind and defend passionately, as they should. Then, to top it off, they used Corey to benefit at their convention. To this day, his wife is begging for answers. Answers she has repeatedly been denied. Sadly, they have no more use for her. She no longer matters. Now I want you to look critically at this photo. They allowed Trump to stand up, exposing multiple potential, I can't say it, as the flag was gently lowered. Boom. All right, now take the picture. Interesting that other Secret Service agents lowered their heads as the perfectly timed, iconic photo is taken. Honestly, it couldn't have been scripted better if it would have been done in a studio. If you cannot look at this story and use critical thinking skills, MAGA can't do that, and have at least some questions, you are the problem and we need you to snap out of it. Oh, and these are not my words. They're the words of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Wow. Yeah, we got, I mean, what more, ladies and gentlemen, what more evidence do you need? What more evidence do you need, MAGA, to realize that you are really the problem? You could get mad at me all you want, but you know, I don't run the country. I don't have any policies. All I'm doing is exercising my First Amendment, right? W. Zeus. W. Zeus. Zeus. W Zeus. One last thing I'll do, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. One last thing I wanted to do. Oh yeah. I wanted to talk about this. The IDF situation in Israel. Did you all see this? Did you all see this situation? Rabbi Shmuley rejects Jesus Christ and demands that Christians stop overreacting over the IDF soldier who destroyed a statue of Jesus in Lebanon. Did you all see this? Did you all see this?
I'm a Jew who loves Jesus, just not the divine Jesus. I love Jesus, who is my Jewish brother, who never knew what Christianity was. He was a Pharisee, and he kept the Shabbat, etc., etc. So the fact that one errant IDF soldier destroys a statue means the following: that not every IDF soldier is perfect. And he's going to be punished. And the Israeli military announced that instantly. Now compare that to what people like Tucker Carlson trying to get you to believe. Tucker's now saying that Islam reveres Jesus as a prophet, and Tucker is trying to now Islamify Jesus, who was a Jew. Really? Then why is Christianity prohibited in nearly every Muslim neighbor of Israel? Why are IDF soldiers protecting every church at the risk of their own lives? 170 IDF soldiers died over the past year. You know what it's like for people like me and my wife, Debbie, to sit and have to shake when our kids are in Lebanon fighting these Islamist terrorists, not Muslims. Muslims are my brothers, just like Christians are, but Islamists, murderers. So let's go through the facts. A, an IDF soldier destroyed a statue of Jesus. B, that IDF soldier acted in complete violation, not just of Jewish values, but IDF's regulations. Number 3, that soldier is going to be severely punished and probably in prison. Number 4, Israel loves our Christian brothers and sisters. Number 5, the IDF risks his life to protect Christians all the time. Number 6, here's 6, okay? Tucker Carlson is now trying to Islamify Jesus, who was a Jew. My Christian brothers and sisters, this message is for you. We could not show more love and appreciation to all of our Christian brothers, especially the evangelicals who stand with us. God bless you all.
Honestly, I listened to what he said, but I looked at that photo and I said, it's like Donald Trump posting himself up as Jesus. Do you Trump voters realize that you are the problem yet? The whole world. And honestly, a lot of us don't even believe Jesus was white. So, okay. And again, so I'm just sitting there going, okay, but let's just take it for what it is. If this is who they're saying Jesus looks like, then look at where we're at right now. The Trump administration is literally championing these kind of things and then trying to play both sides of the issue. You ain't nothing but a bunch of hypocrites. And this is why I do what I do on this show. Because I don't believe anything this guy says. Who is this Rabbi Shmuley? I don't believe him. As far as I'm concerned, I don't even listen to what they say. I just look at their actions and I go, once again, we have another example of how wicked and evil and corrupt the Trump administration is. We need an exorcist, and we need it fast. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons straight to hell. You got to send them to hell. You got to be able to send somebody to hell on this show, right?
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W Zeus. Now the last thing I got to do, because we're running short on time, and then I'm going to bring up guests. I want to go to this clip of Elise Stefanik and Jake Tapper that transpired over the weekend. She thinks she cooked Jake Tapper. And what Jake Tapper was trying to highlight is the fact that she can't be mad when there's pro-Palestinian protesters out there chanting from the river to the sea, but then turn around and turn a blind eye when Donald Trump turns around and threatens to end civilization. You can't have your cake and eat it too. But what I want you all to watch is what the MAGA demon looks like in real time. The MAGA demon is incapable of telling the truth. And it always requires the host to defend Donald Trump, even if it's demonstrated that what Donald Trump is doing is immoral and wicked. All right. So we're going to watch Elise Stefanik basically self-destruct on CNN, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't.
And I just have to say, it's interesting that a 20-year-old college kid on a campus yelling from the river to the sea, that's worthy of condemnation. But a president of the United States who actually
You don't think it's worthy of condemnation? You don't, Jake, you don't think it's worthy of condemnation of students that are targeting Jewish students, that are physically assaulting them, that are spitting in their face, that are drawing swastikas on their doors?
I don't need a lesson
who have
on,
to hire security.
I don't need a lesson on what it's like to be a Jewish student.
Like those university presidents.
No, I'm not equivocating at all. I'm not equivocating
with those university presidents.
I'm
what
asking
I've said
if
about
you're
President Trump's tweets is it has been very targeted.
No,
I am not equivocating. I have been crystal clear.
No, not when it comes to college kids, but when it comes to a president threatening to wipe out an entire civilization. I'm saying you're applying two different standards here.
The Iranian terrorist regime. Everyone seems to understand that, Jake, except for CNN. And what did it do? It brought the Iranians to the table, delivering a ceasefire and, frankly, bringing this terrorist regime to its knees. It has been very important for us to address, frankly, this conflict that has been going on for decades, the terrorist regime that has not only hijacked the Strait of Hormuz, but has been the #1 state sponsor of terror.
I'm not supporting the regime.
So, yes, the president delivers tough diplomacy, but what he has delivered is ultimately we will see peace in the Middle East better off.
I just think a call for genocide on a college campus and a call for made by the
Middle East better off.
I just think a call for genocide on a college campus and a call for made by the
across the board. The difference with those university presidents is they couldn't answer this simple, direct question. Just calling for the genocide of Jews. President Trump didn't call for genocide, Jake. You were putting those words in his mouth. He is engaging in diplomatic back and forth.
Your entire civilization will die?
He is engaging in diplomatic back and forth.
Your entire civilization will die?
To the table. And we should, it's the terrorist regime, Jake. He's targeting the terrorist regime.
You're changing his words.
You can continue.
Jesus. Look at that. We're glitching out. Look at that. As soon as we start cooking and booking, that's what I said. As soon as we start cooking and booking, we get this. Hold on. Let's see if we stabilize. W to the chat. Can you all hear me? Yeah. Can you all hear me out there? All right, it looks like we're stabilized. All right,
the decades long. But you're adding genocide. That's not what he's
What is wiping out an
stated.
entire civilization?
In the case of the university presidents, I specifically asked them about calling for the genocide of Jews. Again, the president is correct to call out the Iranian terrorist regime, to bring them to the table, to force a ceasefire, and frankly, to free the Middle East from this largest state sponsor of terror that has not only killed American lives, but has targeted Israel and the United States of America, including assassination against our elected officials.
Is calling for wiping out a civilization.
Why can't she just
is calling for wiping out an entire civilization
the
bad or
Iranian
good?
Terrorist regime.
But that's not what he said.
Of course it's bad. That is not what he is calling for. He wasn't calling for genocide.
Your entire civilization
it was targeted
will die.
towards the Iranian terrorist regime.
All right.
It was targeted towards
Agree
the
to
Iranian
disagree.
terrorist regime.
Agree to disagree. The book
CNN. This is typical CNN.
Okay.
If you want to compare the President of the United States to the university presidents who failed to call for the condemnation of calling for the genocide of Jews, that's on you, Jake. The world saw how morally equivocating.
Why do Trump voters think the more that they lie, that somehow it becomes true? Is that what you all think? The more you lie, the more then it has the chance of going from 0% true to 100% true. You just keep running your mouth. All right, you've been talking for 10 minutes now. Boof, it's now true. Imagine you tried that. Keep running your mouth telling yourself Santa Claus is real. Keep running your mouth to your bill collectors, right? I'm just going to overtalk you and tell you the money is there. Blah, 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 blah. After 20 minutes, the money will be there. Do you think that's how life really works? This is why I have to tell folks like this. When you find yourself just rambling and talking, that's a sign that you need to stop. Because now you're just trying to convince yourself. We all see Donald Trump's poll numbers. If that strategy was working, those poll numbers would be really high. But they're not, because it doesn't work. So stop talking, MAGA.
Those university presidents were. Yes, you're the one that is it's
No.
not a comparison. So if you
I'm
want to
just
make that
asking you if
comparison,
you have the
that's
same
on
standard
CNN.
for somebody.
That is not the comparison.
She can't stop.
Of course, genocide is bad across the board, Jake. President Trump effectively brought the Iranians to the table. He effectively delivered a
No, he
ceasefire,
didn't.
and he is going to effectively deliver peace to the Middle East.
She's been saying those things for the entire time I've been hitting play. How long has this thing been, right? 5 minutes. No, Donald Trump has not delivered a successful ceasefire. Under no circumstances. She's one of these people that thinks Donald Trump really settled 9 wars.
To stop, frankly, the killing of the Iranian terrorist regime, which kills their own people and has created havoc across the Middle East.
We have people who actually supported the strikes against Iran, Iranian Americans and Iranian advocates on the show all the time, and they all were horrified when President Trump called for a genocide of the Iranians, to quote unquote wipe out your entire civilization.
He's not calling for a genocide of the Iranians. It's targeted.
Ma'am, even Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson acknowledged that that's what he was calling for. So what we now have to do is ask ourselves, what is she getting? What is she getting by going on to CNN and just lying? I don't know. But whatever it is, it's clearly worth more than her soul.
Towards the Iranian terrorist regime. It's been consistent throughout, Jake. And again, that has brought the Iranians to the table. And let's talk about the Iranians have killed tens of thousands of their own people.
Yeah,
so if
horrifying.
you want to prop up the Iranian terrorist regime, that's on you. The president has been very effective in calling out the Iranian terrorist regime.
Got it.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not defending anything.
Here.
I'm not defending anything. I'm saying it's all bad, calling for genocide, calling for wiping out civilizations, whether it's some knucklehead on a college campus or Mahmoud Khalil or this person or that person or President Trump. All of it's bad. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, thank you so much.
President Trump was not calling for genocide.
Stop right there, you demon. Stop right there, you demon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and open up these boxes. But before I do, let me go ahead and do this. If you believe Elise Stefanik and all of these right-wing talking points, then there's truly something wrong with you, and you are literally beyond. You're beyond actually being able to get rehabilitated, right? And it's folks like this that honestly are destroying the United States of America, because instead of just being straight up and honest with the American people, you would rather subject us to minutes of you lying through your teeth on national television. And I know there are Trump voters out there who are listening to her and they were just saying, thank you so much for the lies. Thank you so much for the lies. I can go on my social media platform now and start repeating those lies and look just as wise as you. She doesn't look wise. She actually looks foolish. She actually looks evil and wicked. No, don't let that pink little suit make you think that's anything other than that. And so because of that, ladies and gentlemen, I have no other choice. Actually, I enjoy doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. Hey, Vegas, it's so nice to see you here. I'm glad that you're back in the kingdom at our feet. Ladies and gentlemen, and I saw Dame too. Thank you for coming in here and getting your daily dose. What am I giving? Oh, you know, rounds of what? Straight first class trips straight to hell. Yeah.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W Zeus. Thank you, everyone. That concludes my monologue for this morning. Imagine. All right, now it's time to open up these boxes and have some honest conversations with those of you who are brave enough to get up here and tell the truth. The American people, they've already spoken. They just want to hear the truth. They don't want to be gaslit anymore. We don't want to gaslight people. We want people to honor their words, all right? We want people to demonstrate that they truly understand what's happening here in the United States. It's amazing that the folks in Iran, you can see it on the Lego videos, right? They understand what's happening here in the United States, and that's why those Lego videos are so popular, because they hit, and they resonate with everyone. But what we don't want to deal with is folks that are running around here always defending Donald Trump. I can bash Donald Trump because that's what's required. All right, you have no reason to continue to support this evil and corrupt administration. But if you believe that you do, I'm the one person on social media right now that will at least hear you out. Okay, there's others. But no, I'll at least entertain it and try to ask you, okay, well, why do you really believe what you believe? And when it all boils down to it, a majority, actually all of you, the reason you support Donald Trump is real clear to us. It's because you're wicked. You're all wicked. And hell will be your portion, W. Zeus. All right. Let's go to the box. All right. Who do we got? Oh, DJ's here. Yeah, DJ. It's amazing you come in here and get your joke in, but you know that you're wrong. Miss Shrug, good morning. Or Miss Shug, how are you?
Good morning, Zeus.
Hey, good morning. Did you mean to send the request, or was this an accident?
I did.
Okay, good. All right. Well, how have you been?
I've been doing well.
All right. Well,
I came in here. I have a couple points that I wanted to make. First, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, honestly. I'm glad you asked. You're doing great?
I am.
Good.
I rarely ever come up on panels, but I was in that live the other night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one of the things that I wanted to point out was the mother lady.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead on and just say her name. And the way that she was talking, the words that were coming out of her mouth, the disrespect, all of the things, had that been a black woman, how would that, if that were me, how would that chat label me?
Well,
what would be the first?
You're asking how would MAGA have labeled you?
Yes.
Oh, they would have put the devil on you instantly.
I mean,
right?
if I was loud, if I was obnoxious, if I was cussing, if I was, how would they label me?
Typical angry black woman. You know the drill, right? Can't control herself, out of control. Not God fearing. They'd called you everything but a child of God.
Walker, ghetto. That's the word I'm looking for. Ghetto. That is the word I'm looking for.
There you go again. Now, there you go again. Race baiting. There you go again. Race. Why can't you just talk about the policies? Why do you always go to race?
Yeah. So that was my point, is that I can't believe that was allowed to go on for so long, because whenever we get up on panels and if we talk in that tone, we're always chastised. And essentially we're chastised by most conservative men for having that temperament on their panels, because we need to be more reserved. Yet this lady is allowed to,
some folks
play that role. It was just weird how that was allowed.
But let me ask you a question, because you are speaking on something. On my platform, they say that I am being, get this, my masculinity has been compromised because I allow women to say what they feel. What is your opinion about that? Because to your point, if you were to go over there, they censor you, right? So you see what I'm saying? But but then over here, do you think it makes a man weak by allowing a woman to speak?
No, absolutely not. Especially most black women. For me, I don't get up on platforms and speak about anything that I don't have any information on that subject matter. That's one thing. I was always taught to not speak about things that I have. If I don't have factual information, I'm not going to go before anyone and pass off false information. So when black women are, and I'm assuming most women, black women, I know for sure, we don't speak on things that we don't have factual information on.
Facts.
So when I don't know why conservatives do that. I guess it's mostly intimidation. I don't know. But we just like to pass off information to inform people. It's not to, try to get people to agree with us or anything like that. It's just to put information out there,
Thank you.
And that's all.
Thank you. Well, you know what it is? A lot of these, especially the conservative men out there, my understanding is that they are broken individuals, and they're underdeveloped, right? They have not evolved, and they're running around here thinking that their strength comes from telling women what to do. They have not learned how to control their emotions, right? You get what I'm saying? And
Right.
and they enjoy being set up by lies and misinformation. These same brothers know that if they get out of line, guess what's going to end up happening? They'll be destroyed by the very people that are propping them up.
Yeah, and I will be fair to Dame. It has been on some occasions that he's checked some individuals that has crossed the line too much. I was there. He has, checked some
Yeah,
people.
he's learning.
So that's why I was kind of disappointed that he allowed that disrespect to go on. I just,
Yeah,
I couldn't believe
to
that.
be quite honest though, I've been monitoring him from afar. He's picking up on some of these cues. He'll fight it right here in front of us, because he wants to try to act like he's still their hero. But subconsciously, he knows that he knows what the truth is. And he knows he's wrong. He can try to hide behind his daddy all he wants, but it's not just him. It's the conservative men out there in general. But I'll give him his, he did do some things there that I said, okay, at least he's showing growth. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Right.
but I still understand there's a long way to go. They got a long way to go because the biggest issue right now is just the blatant ability to believe lies. You know how problematic it is to push lies?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's insane. And then it was another thing that I wanted to discuss. The JE thing. Forgive me. I'm trying to talk TikTok friendly. When you discussed that about the J Doe situation, I wanted to also add on to your point. If you look at when he was on a live, during that interviewing process, that window process, if you go look at the timeline of when he was unalived and the settlement and all that stuff happening, he was unalived in that window frame.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
If you go look, and I'm telling the chat too, if you go look at that timeline, it directly it correlates, like really correlates. And I'm not saying, but you can draw your own conclusion, because I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like for real, like wow. And that now I understand why they held that particular Jane Doe information back, because it was able to make people think.
Yeah. It
Like,
proves
okay,
that
why
she's
is they fighting
credible.
so hard to keep this person information?
Yeah.
Because now it connects dots to other things.
Thank
So,
you. It proves
yeah.
that she's credible.
Yep. And then, but why was he unalived afterwards?
Well, there's still speculation about whether or not that he really was unalive, but we can confirm they got him up out of here. They got him up out of
Okay,
here
well,
and sent him
his
back.
his disappearance. I'll
Yeah.
just think.
Thank you.
So if the chat wants to go and review that, that information is out there. You just have to be able to critically think. And I think that some MAGA just don't want to do that, or
They got their
No.
they got their truth blockers on. They're spiritually blind right now, so they can't. But if they got ears to hear, let them hear. If they got eyes to see, let them see. So there are people out here who have heard what you have said, and they're going to take it under consideration. All right, Miss Suge?
And then also my very, very last point, when you said the Lego videos,
Yeah.
and I'm so tired of hearing this, they unalive their own people. They unalive their own people. I talking about Elise Stefanik.
Yeah.
This whole narrative, while Trump admitted on live TV that we supplied them, you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you Al Jazeera, the news article, they wrote, I think it's like April the 5th or something like that. They wrote an article and they wrote an entire timeline starting in December. America's plan with Iran. Okay, from the time those things went over there and that was supplied, right?
Right.
So we supplied them. That was part of Israel and America's plan. Even these ceasefires are in that timeline.
Yeah.
So they're not really ceasefires.
Yeah.
They're part of the
They're
plan.
pauses. They're pauses, and
They're pauses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go and look up Al Jazeera wrote an
Al
article
Jazeera.
about this.
Al Jazeera,
Okay.
yes. Al Jazeera.
Yes.
Okay.
They wrote an article about this because they want to, y'all know what they want to do to those people over there because Trump's told the truth about it. He
Amen.
told you what he wanted to do with these
Amen.
people. So take it serious,
All
okay?
right.
He said it about the civilization. That is exactly what he wants to do with them, okay?
Amen.
And so what I'm saying is they actually sent stuff over there to
get this thing started.
for them to get rid of their own people. Now
They
imagine if
facilitated
somebody
it.
had
Now,
did
now,
that.
Miss Shook, I gotta move it on, all right? But listen.
Okay,
I gotta say
okay.
thank you. All right. You did
Okay,
enough.
I'm just saying. Last point. So
Well, you
imagine if somebody had did that and done that to us and told us that and sent us stuff like that in the U.S.
Oh,
what
it would have
we
been
had to do.
been on and popping. You know how that
Okay,
goes. All
that's
right.
all I gotta say.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Miss
you for
Shook.
having me.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, so much truth, ladies and gentlemen. So much truth. Thank you. There's so much truth. Just wearing out these devils, wearing out these demons, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. See what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen? Let's move on to the next panelist. Who do we got next? Someone said ring Dolphin up. Who do we got next? Good morning, Dolphin. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
All right, Dame. Dame likes to come after me in the comments. Dame. Now, see, I look like an iPhone flashlight, but see, I'm Mexican indigenous. I do not take no shit. I may be 4 foot 5. You are a coward. I don't like cold. Dames are fucking cowards. Would you like to see my fucking basement? Yes, I live in my basement. You want to know why? It's 10 degrees cooler down here. Plus, it's like my own little apartment. That, and would you like to see my 320-inch wall-to-wall movie?
Dolphin, why are you?
Here's my 320-inch movie screen,
Oh,
wall-to-wall.
no, hit him with
Here's
it.
my projector.
He would love.
Here's my soundbar.
There you go.
Here's my
Wow. There you go.
DVD.
So, thank you, Dolphin. See, don't let the devil get you upset, Dolphin. Dame is he's trying to trigger you. Don't let the devil do that to you.
No. I get it.
Yeah,
get it. But
thank
see,
you.
I haven't been able to yell at any MAGA for a while
Oh, so you got-
because I don't really do panel
Yeah.
platforms because they're just toxic. You know me. I like the mental health matters, people.
Correct.
Mental health matters.
Thank you. But you're doing good. You're doing real good, Dolphin. That's why I said I know it feels good sometimes to let the flesh get up and get active, but you don't need to let these demons do that to you unless you
And
just want to.
Just to clarify to Dame, I was born physically disabled. I am on disability. I only make $2,000 a month.
Oh.
Right?
Dame
So
wouldn't
you
talk
wanna
about
sit there and
anybody
say
in
that
that
I'm on-
situation.
You want to sit there and say that I'm on EBT and all sorts of other shit because apparently you're not happy in your life. That's the reason why you constantly got to talk about men in women's sports and men in women's bathrooms. I was there
You were-
for that live, dude. That's all you came back to because that's all you got. And what you need to be worried about is not the trans individuals that are going into bathrooms. It is the cis white men that are going into these bathrooms and hurting their children.
Dolphin's cooking. I didn't tell you to come up here and say all of that, did I, Dolphin? Because It was so true what you just said. I keep trying to tell people, and they get mad when you say that, though. They say you're race baiting. You know what you just did? What you did in their world is considered racist. Did you know that?
I'm sorry, say what?
Yeah, that's what they think. When you talk about, their typical white guy watching Fox News, they say, "Oh, Dolphin's being a racist." Do you agree with that?
This is what I say.
Hey.
Now, like I said, I've been dealing
crazy.
with people like you.
Mhm.
I have been dealing with people like you
I
since
love it.
basically the day I was born.
Yep.
I have been fighting
Mhm.
for my life since the day I was born.
Amen.
I was born 4 months premature.
Thank you.
I weighed a half a pound and was in an incubator for 6 months. I had 9 major surgeries by the time I was 15. My first one was a double hernia as a six month-year-old child.
Thank you.
I am so sick and tired of you people thinking that we can't be as bad as good as you.
Thank you.
I am good, if not better than you. I can hoop better than you. I got a net in the backyard. I can freaking play football better than you. Guaranteed. I can throw a fastball. I mean, come on. Dude, I could run.
Tell her, Dolphin.
Guaranteed. Oh, and I'm gonna throw this in there because now this might be a little racist, okay?
It's a free country. Go ahead. I'll tell you if it's racist or not, though. Go for it. I'll tell you if it's racist.
I can dance better than you.
Now that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I give you that. You cooked them, Dolphin. How do you feel after you just came up here and literally took every single Trump voter, especially the conservative men, you literally took them to task. You took them to the woodshed and made them eat a little cheese. How do you feel this morning?
I feel a bit better, actually.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bullies are cowards. Bullies do nothing, but they are the schoolyard bully that if a bigger bully comes and picks on them, they cry and whine like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Do you understand that my mom didn't even know that I was being bullied? She goes, Chris, I didn't even know that you were being bullied.
Wow.
That's because I didn't run home to mommy like a little bitch.
Oh, W Dolphin. Now listen, Dolphin. You swagged off.
Sorry, Mama Jean.
You swagged off quite a bit this morning.
Look, it is 10:58 here in the great state of Michigan. I have an appointment to get my mom to because I take care of my mom. It is a 24/7 hour job.
Hallelujah.
What do you do for work, Dan?
Ooh.
I don't.
Cook. Dolphin, you know what? Thank you. You make me feel good today. You made me feel real great, and I think a lot of the people in the chat do as well. You didn't have to do that. No, you're fine. You're fine. And I'm proud of you, Dolphin. Seriously. Don't let anything these evil, wicked people say to you, don't let it bother you, all right? Because they know they're losing. They know they're losers, all right? And you keep up the good work. W's in the chat for Dolphin, all right? We're going to move it on.
All right, let me move myself out here.
All right. Woo! There you go. There you go. W's in the chat for Dolphin, ladies and gentlemen. I'm proud of him. Yeah. What the devil meant for evil, God's going to turn it to good. And many of us, ladies and gentlemen, W's in the chat for Maddie. We walk by faith, not by sight. Yeah. Broad is the way that leads to destruction. It's all in the good book, but they'll never read it, and they don't understand it. That's why a lot of these people who worship Donald Trump, they are going where? Straight to hell. On this show, if you're a Trump voter, there's no way around it. You will end up in the lake of fire. Guaranteed. Unless you repent. And I mean down on your knees and asking God to forgive you and save your burnt souls, because you've really torn your draws with the American people. That's a huge W, Zeus. Who do we got? S. Molina, good morning. Who do we got? S. Molina. I don't know who these people are. Barrett, are you there? Barrett. Barrett, you know the rule. That's 2 galaxies if you accidentally send me a guest request. All right, who do we got? Pat. Oh, look at that. S. Molina. It looks like S. Molina's trying to come through. Yeah, I can't. TikTok is glitching. Glitch talk. I can't see him. All right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. I don't know what's happening. Is it working still?
It's working still.
Okay. Nutty is here. Good morning, Nutty. How are you? Wow.
I think it's the people who are requesting. TikTok does glitch, but the people who are on it also glitch.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, it's working with
They're
you.
MAGA supporters.
Fair enough. How
So
you
I have
doing?
a question.
Yeah.
I have a simple question.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Tipusa.
Oh, okay.
And when Erica didn't show up because apparently there were threats
Made against her?
made against her.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in the 80s and 90s there was a talk show, the Arsenio Hall show?
Yes. Yes, I do.
And one of the favorite things in his monologues was things that make you go, Remember that?
Yeah.
I had one of those moments just here, listening to why she didn't show up. And it was things that make me go,
Okay.
Now, I can understand her not showing up if, threats were made, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what I didn't expect is the office of the vice president of the United States to be there. Because what that tells me, Zeus, that in that moment, I'm just going to say it. She's having an affair with him. So the fact that, her boo thing was there at Tipusa and he's the vice president of the United States of America. What does that tell you? That means that the convention center, a 10-mile radius. See, I know how these things work because I worked in government, right?
Yeah.
And I also was a White House intern. So I know how it works when the president or the vice president shows up anywhere in public.
Yeah.
That 10-mile radius, sometimes is a 15-mile radius, is absolutely secured. They secure it sometimes if it's the president. Sometimes they secure it 7 days ahead of time.
Yeah.
So with the president of the United States being there, that area was no less than a 10-mile radius secured. Secret Service riddled everywhere. Say every single syllable.
Yeah,
everywhere.
There you go.
Yes. Secret Service is all over the daggone place.
So what are you suggesting?
And she didn't show up. Why do you think that is?
Well, if it has anything to do with the conservative movement in MAGA, is Donald Trump underwater on every issue? Number one.
Every single one.
Thank you. And have we now figured out who was were the Democrats responsible for Charlie Kirk?
Well, I know the truth to that, but MAGA doesn't. Well, they do, but they don't want to admit it.
Yeah. So it seems to me like the grift is over with MAGA. And you saw the attendance. Did you see all those empty seats?
I did. They booked that whole stadium, and they maybe had. I would say I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say 1,000 people.
Wow.
And that's being generous.
Just can't get it up. They just can't get it up anymore. You know what I'm saying? When you can't get it up anymore, it's a wrap. Relationship is over. W's in the chat.
Wait, time out right there, Zeus. Time out right there, Zeus. You said they just can't get it up. Should we offer them the blue pill, not red pill, but the blue pill?
There you go. Yeah, you might as well. What do you have to lose at the end of the day, right? That's what it is. You see that no one's excited about being lied to anymore. That's what's going on right now. And it's not just Turning Point, right? It's honestly the entire MAGA movement. The entire MAGA movement.
Well, I that just made me go, huh. So are she and JD, are they having a fight because did he touch too many couches for her? Are they, what's the deal, Erica? What's the deal? Come tell.
Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah.
These so-called Christians, since she forgave her husband's unaliver, since she forgave him, so you so-called Christians out there, banging other people's wives.
Oh, that's par for the course. That's what they're into. Just like they're into Grindr. And I was in the live the other, And I said, isn't it interesting, Nutty? This might be off topic, but it's not. These folks get so upset about men and women's sports, but they shut that Grindr down every time they meet up. Isn't that crazy? They shut Grindr. And Christy Noem's husband. I'm sitting here going, wow, you can't ask for a better example of hypocrisy. Huh?
What is one of your favorite taglines that you say? The very thing that makes you
laugh.
It's gonna laugh?
It's gonna make you cry. Yeah.
And for the last few years, especially on this show, every accusation
every MAGA accusation is a MAGA confession. Undefeated on the show. Undefeated.
It literally writes itself.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, please, come on up here and tell me about how much you're doing. And they think they're talking about the Democrats. No, they're talking about themselves.
And to the guest that you just had on a few moments ago, the one that I was talking about Dame. Both you and her were absolutely wrong. I don't see no light in Dame. Dame is not coming to the light. He's not coming to the light. The light that Dame sees is light green printed on paper that you can spin.
Yeah,
that's the light. That's the only light Dame is seeing.
Let me ask to add
because that's the only thing that Dame cares about.
Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with Nutty. If you agree with Nutty,
everybody agrees with me on this.
Let's see. This is a democracy, and it's not a cult. Look at that. People can believe what they want to. But look at all W to the chat.
Dame. Listen,
that's a lot. If you could see this chat, these ones are flying. I've never seen so many ones in my life. It's like they want him impeached and removed immediately. W to the chat.
Zeus, can I be very honest? Can I be very forthright with you?
It's a free country.
I'm gonna be very forthright with you. I absolutely want to be wrong about Dame, because at the end of the day, Dame is still a brother. He's still a brother. And at the end of the day, Dame is going to get treated like every one of us. Let Dame do something wrong.
Yeah.
Let him do something wrong.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Yeah. 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 You know what?
They're going to go upside his head.
Yeah. That's what they call no lies detected. W's in the chat for Nutty. But a hard head makes for a soft. You know what?
Well, that's what my grandmama always said. Yeah. Especially before she would make me go out and pick my own switch. I remember those days.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
I had those days.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm going to leave the chat today with one scripture. For every single so-called Christian out there, I really want them to go to Isaiah, the first book of Isaiah, verse 17. That scripture is a call for social justice and righteousness. It urges believers to learn to do what's right. It tells us to seek justice, to defend the oppressed, to take up the cause of the fatherless, and to plead the case of widows. So, you so-called Christians, but it also goes further, and it actually talks about, and this really triggers them, it also talks about the immigrant. It also talks about the immigrant. So for you so-called Christians, do good, seek justice,
that part,
and defend the oppressed.
Amen, amen.
Y'all have a blessed day.
And that's why I thank you. W's in the chat for Nutty. That's why I understand that this is really a battle of, it's a battle. It's really a spiritual battle going on in this country right now to a degree. And I've had to come to peace with myself and say, you know what? It's not really about what's happening in the country. It's really about how I respond to what's happening in this country. And a lot of people in real life, they walk up to me and they say, you know what? I really do appreciate the fact that, despite all of the stuff that people say about you, you still, retain who you really truly are, Big Zeus. And I said, you know what? That's a huge W. Yeah, because that's going to open up the door for me to go into the next phase, which is obviously we got to start holding these these public servants accountable for the things that they've been promising, because the majority of Americans, they want some of the most basic things. Like if I were to ask, how many of you want clean water? How many of you out there want clean water? Do you think we should be able to have access to clean water in this country? I think a majority of you would say absolutely. Clean air, absolutely. Affordable housing, absolutely. Look at this W's to the chat. Look at, I mean, this is it's so simple. All right. Well, then what are you doing to help me get that, right? That's all I have to start asking these public, actually what we call them is public servants. That's what they are. And it's not a Democrat or a Republican thing. It's a life thing. That's why when they come up on my show and they start talking about all of these other things, I sit there and I go, you're literally getting off track. You got to keep this real simple. And if you keep it real simple, here's the thing. You're going to realize that Donald Trump is not doing what he promised that he would do. And if we can't be honest amongst ourselves, then we don't need, bringing a politician in isn't going to help, right? If we can't be honest amongst ourselves, then bringing a politician isn't going to help us. All right. There's a serious issue in this country, and a lot of it has to do with the way people are lying to themselves. And it's one thing to lie to me, but when you lie to yourself, it's one thing to lie to me. Okay, fine. It is what it is. But when you lie to yourself, it's clear you don't love yourself. It's clear that there's something wrong with you. It really is. It really is. Who do we have next?
Young Zeus.
It's Big Zeus.
How you doing, man?
Am I actually making sense to you this morning?
We're actually having a good show, man. Really enjoying it. Good information. Yeah, pretty good information. W Miss Shook. And even W Nutty, because usually Nutty is a lot more disrespectful in his critique about me. But I'm always willing to take, non-disrespectful constructive criticism. So W Nutty too.
Okay, so what do you got then? That you just wanted to come up here and thank them? That's easy.
No, I wanted to say, I don't think, I know you know, but I don't think your chat and all of you guys know how big you make my ego every time you type my name in the comments. Every time you come on a panel and talk about me, I could be having a low day. I come in Zeus Lives and I see my name 50 times and I feel like I'm on top of the world. So I just want to let them know, keep putting my name in the chat, keep saying thanks, because that lets me know I got a spot reserved in your head and you don't have a spot in mine. So that's W Dame forever. I wanted to come and say that. Another thing,
you might as well just told me to warm up the lake of fire with that one.
I also want to say, because before you left the live the other day, we never quite got, we never got your closing statement about the e-file. So can you admit that after we broke it down eloquently to you, there's no proof that President Trump did anything according to those files? Can we agree to that at least?
No. Can we? Because here's the thing. If it walks like a duck, what's the rest of it?
If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
Then what?
Then it's a duck.
Okay, so do I have to, if I played you a clip of a duck quacking, do I got to actually show you the photo of the duck quacking before you believe it's a duck? No, I don't. If I say there's another expression where there's smoke, there's fire. Do I got to show you the fire, or are you seeing the smoke enough for you to realize you better get your behind out of danger? It's not this. It's amazing to me that you will go to these lengths to defend, I'd hate to say it, an orange man. But you won't do that for your own brothers and sisters.
Yes, I would.
No. I've seen you literally attack black women on your platform. You've gotten better, but you still got a long way to go. But you don't give black people that benefit of the. You don't even give me the benefit of the doubt. You instantly, it's like you got so much hate in your heart for your own. But then we turn around and we see you. We're like, Dame, You've heard this. And I play it to you until Jesus say I can't play it no more, but I'll play it.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Have you ever, listen, maybe you missed a part of the show this morning when I said, listen, I've been Tarzan in the jungle, swinging from tree to tree, bro. Apex predator on top of his game. Okay, I have never, in all my years of living, said anything like that. I don't even hang out with people that talk like that. Have you?
Nah, that's it. That's
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate.
You know, he actually, the whole statement that he made about when you're a star, women let you do it, you know, grab them by the, you know what, that was actually used in the E. Jean Carroll case. So when you have, that is considered evidence, these audio clips of him talking and saying disgusting things, and you pair that with what the victims are saying, you don't have to be a rocket science to reasonably conclude that this man did what people are saying he did. What kind of child would make up a story about Donald Trump doing something harmful to him? And multiple children? Why would they do that?
Because the powers that be, they orchestrate Aaron Carter. They tried to get him to do that. Macaulay Culkin, they tried to get him to do that with Michael Jackson. No. There's people that literally tell these kids what to say to try to. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying that's a possibility.
I mean,
I'm gonna say you some stuff, bro.
Okay, and winning the lottery is a possibility, but the odds are not that high. You don't. Maybe if it was one isolated incident, I would probably go, okay, Dave. But we have a situation where this man has been credibly accused by 40 plus women. You've heard his own remarks. You can see the way him and Melania don't really connect, that there's clearly a problem. There's trouble in paradise.
Wait, so 40 women and no arrest? Our justice system sucks that much in this country, Zeus? Think about that, Zeus. 40 women, not one conviction? You really believe our justice system is that weak, Zeus? 40 women. Just think about that, Zeus. For real. Harvey Weinstein, he's in prison.
Dame?
40? Not one conviction?
Dame? Are you talking about the same justice system that's been going after people of color and black people? That same one? Are you telling me you believe that the justice system in the United States is like A+ perfect? Like, we know it's a flawed justice system. But Donald Trump had the resources to at least prove his innocence. He had way more resources than you and I combined. And we know of at least 2 instances, and there's actually a lot more. But we do know that when he went to court in New York, they found him guilty of those crimes. And he had the most resources any of us could possibly have. And if you end up losing the case still, then that means you're guilty. Same with the E. Jean Carroll case. You've heard his words, bro. I mean, you could try to spin this.
Wait, what New York case? You talk about the civil case?
No, the criminal case with Stormy Daniels. Isn't it funny that he was once again doing something with women in that case?
Bro.
Isn't it interesting that even in the criminal case, it involved him doing something inappropriate with a woman?
Bro, you allege.
It's not alleged.
No. If someone is alleged, think about that, bro. You're alleged raped 40 women, and all they could arrest you for is a signature.
Hey,
you don't see nothing fishy from that, Zeus. Be honest.
Do you have
nothing is fishy from that?
Do you have AI? Do you have a tool? You can go look it up, Dave. If I'm lying, I'll apologize. But this is what's out there. You're not arguing with me. You're arguing against your own reality. And you're setting yourself up to get played like a fiddle. That's why I say I don't know.
No.
I don't know what
I'm not.
Am I
because
lying?
I never said.
Am I lying though?
I never said Trump. I never said Donald Trump was innocent. I just said there's no proof putting that on that man. You want to call him a con man? You want to say he's not a good businessman? You can put all those things on a man. You put grape on a man, that's a new ballpark. And that's all I'm saying. You can't just put that on anybody. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Hold on.
You can say he's a bad president.
Hold on.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Oh my God, bro.
No. Let's just stop right there. He talks like that on a regular. But you want to be the one person that goes and defends that. That's indefensible, bro.
I'm not defending it, bro. So you want to be the one to put
let me ask you
on
this.
someone.
Let me say this, and this was the point that I was making on your show. They like to say that if Joe Biden could have released the evidence that Trump was guilty, he should have released it while, you know what I'm saying, while he was in office to ruin his chances of getting elected. But
didn't exist.
Yeah, but my point with that was Joe Biden indicted him 4 times. Do you believe any of those indictments were true?
Joe Biden indicted Trump 4 times?
Yeah, 4 times. Remember that he was indicted 4 times under Joe Biden, right? We had the New York case, we had the classified documents case, and we had the January 6th case, and you had the Fonnie Willis case. Those all happened under the Biden administration. Do you believe that those were credible cases and that Donald Trump was truly a criminal in those cases?
No, that was political. That was political lawfare.
Okay, and so I'm
because
glad
Biden took documents home as well.
Okay, so but that wasn't just about documents. It was also about the Alvin Bragg case, and it was also about what he did on January 6th. But the fact that you don't believe any of those 4, what difference would it have made if the Biden administration would have indicted him over the Epstein stuff? You would have deliberately chosen to not believe it because that's how your mind is programmed. So the only thing that we can agree on is this. There was only one administration where there was an actual law passed that required the president of the United States, DOJ, to release the files. And which administration was that? I mean, you don't like the way the game is being played. None of us do, but we got to play by the rules. And only one administration has been legally required to release the files. Which one was it?
Yeah, because the Democrats want to put the onus on the Republicans to get the heat off of them because they know that they had the ability to do it. An Obama appointed judge just declined to release the grand jury statement.
You know what I gotta say?
Okay, so stop acting like it's only Republicans, bro. All of them are protecting each other. This is a bipartisan issue. You don't have any more on Trump than you have on Bill Clinton, Michael Jackson, anybody else. You just choose to highlight Trump's name.
What was my original question again?
You asked me a lot of questions. Your original.
I said,
is it quack like a duck?
You had Bush. You had the Bush administration. You had the Obama administration, and you've had 2 Trump administrations, and you've had the Biden administration. Out of all of those administrations, which one was the administration where there was a law passed that required the files to be released?
Trump.
So why is he not doing it? Think about what you're saying.
Bro, he's released 3 million files. We know more about the e-files now than we ever knew in history.
Dang, listen, when you get pulled over by a cop, do they let you just tell the cop why were you speeding? Do you go, well, you know what, so and so was flying past me, and that doesn't work. I'm asking very pointed questions. Okay, so the Trump administration, they have not fully released all of the files, which means they are breaking the law.
No. They released the files.
No, they haven't.
Okay, so how did the prince in that other country and whatever? How did he get arrested? From what? From the files being released, Zeus.
You're talking about Andrew. You're talking about Andrew.
Prince Andrew. Why did the Harvard professor have to resign? Because of the release of the files, Zeus.
Well, I'm not saying. Okay, I'll correct myself. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that some files haven't been released. But all of the files have not been released in accordance to the way the law is written. They are still holding on to over 3 million files. You do know that, right?
I know some things are redacted and everything is not released. I wasn't
just talking about the redactions.
No, everything. Yes, they allegedly. I don't know.
Okay,
but people are saying there's unreleased.
Yes. The rest of the files still have not been released. Some have been, and yes, there has been impact. It has impacted some people who were in the files losing their positions or having to come in and testify. We see that, but there's a lot of information that still has not been released that the law said should be released. So if the law is saying to release the files and you're not doing it, that means you're breaking the law, right?
No.
Let's just call it straight up. I don't need Donald Trump or Bill Clinton to come in and make things make sense to you and I. We're just having a conversation. You don't need a politician to make this make sense.
That's subjective if you want to say it's breaking the law,
If
because
the
it
law
depends
says
on what
if
it's.
the law says do A, B, and C, and you only do A and B, are you following the law?
Did the bill say release every single page,
Yes.
and by what time? No.
And
Did it give a
it gave him a
timeline?
deadline too.
Well, we got to read that up. I got to check it up. If it gave them a deadline, and it says it has to, because if 3 million pages was released, how many pages is it? 10 million pages? 3 million was released. So I have to look and see, did they give them a timeline? Did they give them a transparency clause to say what? I don't know. I don't just,
Hold on.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, this
We're gonna
administration
go ahead and give you
gave
something.
you.
Hold on. I just because I want to try to at least. Okay, so let's see. The Epstein Files Transparency Act signed by Trump on November 19th primarily requires the U.S. Department of Justice, including the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office, to release a broad set of materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. No later than 30 days after the enactment, the Attorney General must make publicly available a searchable and downloadable format all unclassified records, documents, communications, and investigative materials in the DOJ's possession that relate to Jeffrey Epstein, including all investigations. Did it say half or all? Is there a difference between half or all in your world?
3 million pages. That's a lot of. That's
No,
transparency.
Dame. See, is there a difference between
If
half?
it told them to release all of them, they should have released all of them. Point blank.
Okay. So if they don't release all of them, then that would mean they're breaking the law, correct?
Who's ever in charge of releasing it? Yes.
Donald Trump.
Trump is not in charge of releasing FBI files. That's the FBI.
Okay, so doesn't the executive branch control the DOJ? Who's in control of the executive branch of government?
They have, of course, the president is.
Okay, Dame. So again, if they don't release all the files, is that breaking the law?
The DOJ won't be doing their job if that's what the courts told them to do. Yes.
Okay, so
and you can't say it because if you say it's Trump, then I'm gonna ask you, why didn't Biden release them last year?
Because when did I say this law was passed?
It was passed, but he was the boss.
It was passed on November 19th, 2025. Who was the president? So Biden would have never even been in a position to break the law because it never was passed. And any president before Biden, they couldn't have had this situation because it wasn't a law. We only have this situation now because the sitting president is refusing to comply with the law of the land.
Yeah, I don't even know why this administration allowed them to put them in. They should have. They should have.
You're in the blender right now.
It was dumb as hell. They should have made Biden and them release.
Okay, but they didn't because the public didn't know what they know now. This happened as a result of the public's reaction. All right. This is one of the most unique things that have happened in Trump's presidency. This was one law that actually the whole country was united for.
It is a bipartisan issue because all y'all people are the ones in it.
No, Dave. So let me ask you this question once again. If the president does not follow the law, does that mean he is breaking the law?
Yes, any person in America.
Thank you. So now that we've established that Donald Trump is breaking the law as it relates to Jeffrey Epstein, there you have it, sir. The evidence you've been looking for that proves Donald Trump is in those files. Because when you,
bro, this man, bro, that is not evidence, bro. There's so much nuance, bro. There's victims that has to be protected. Okay, that's number one.
Dame.
They can't just put because they can't put bro. It's lawyers. It's so much nuance. You're simplifying this way more than it really is,
listen,
bro. And you know it.
It's amazing that I got you to at least admit Donald Trump is breaking the law.
He's not breaking the law.
You just admitted it.
No, he's not. How's he breaking the law?
You just said if they're not complying with the law, then they're breaking it, right?
All right, well, pull up. Show me proof.
No.
Pull up. Show me the source that showed you that Trump is the one hiding everything. Show me that. Go ahead.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
Your claim is that Trump is breaking the law because he is suppressing some of the files.
Yeah. So which branch of the government is the DOJ in? Which branch of the government the DOJ in?
Bro, now you want to act like
it's simple. He's lost his connection. All right, well,
for a reason, bro.
Well, Dame, listen.
Stop the malarkey,
Dame. You know the difference between right and wrong, and you know that I'm right. Donald Trump is breaking the law as it relates to releasing the files, and you only do that because guess what? Like we established at the very beginning, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then what?
Bruh.
It's a duck. And you're going to go down in history as the black man on TikTok that defended Donald Trump being a P3DO. That's your legacy.
I never defended him. Never said he was innocent one time.
Let me ask the chat. How many of you believe Dame is going to go down as the black man on TikTok that defended Donald Trump being in the Epstein files? How many of you believe that?
Never said he was innocent.
Let me ask.
I just asked y'all for evidence that y'all can't.
Dame, the chat. Let the chat speak. They've sat here and listened to you, and a lot. W to the chat. Hold on. W to the chat. They just hold on. And it's funny. and Nutty said it. The same thing that makes you laugh, it'll make you cry.
Bruh, if Trump is in the files,
He
bruh,
is.
like I told you all my life.
No. He is in the files.
Bruh, that has nothing to do with the voters. That has nothing to do with me. And I'm not about to let none of y'all gaslight us to believe that's our fault, that our government was that incompetent. They let Trump get that far without bringing him to prison.
Dame.
That is not our fault as the voter.
Dame, hold
Y'all
on.
are the biggest gaslighters.
Dame, I gotta stop you. They say, let's see, around 1,500 times. Okay, yeah, okay. So Donald Trump's all in those files. Over 3,000 times. So you can't say he's not in the files. And that's so far, right? I mean, some reports say a lot more. So can we at least acknowledge that he's in the files?
Michael Jackson's in the files.
So you can't answer the questions, right? And this is where it's like, I think I've done an outstanding job, really, taking you to the woodshed on the show this morning. And now I think the people are saying, so send him to hell. So send him to hell. Should we send him to hell?
Oh, man. Well, like I said, man, you guys go ahead and keep on working that e-file case and see how far that gets you as a party. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't have anything to talk about. So you're hanging on to the e-files like a needle in the haystack. You're just hanging on for dear life.
Dame, I will never, ever stop talking about it because I, unlike you, do not want our president to be a P3DO. It's never going to settle with me. You understand?
Zeus, that video I showed you of Biden.
We're built different. I get it. You're the type of person that says, I'm okay with a P3DO running the country. I will never be okay. You get that?
Okay.
And I'm a nice person, but at the end of the day, I got standards, bro. If this is your way of going out, fine. You will be the greatest defender of a P3DO on TikTok. Congratulations, right?
77 million
77 demons. 77
fools.
77
million people
demons.
Got it wrong.
Yep.
And y'all that voted for Kamala, the woman that told people get out of church, we don't do
ladies
Jesus.
and gentlemen, unfortunately, that's Dame. Dame, you can't beat up Vice President Kamala Harris on this show. That's your third strike. And you're defending P3DOs, and you got up here and said you got a lot going on when you don't. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Demon Dame. I'm going to call him Demon Dame. We might have to call him Double D. Double D, huh? I just thought of that. Demon Dame to go be in the flames. Let's go ahead and send him straight to hell. Demon, double demon Dame. And I hate to do my own that way.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And I got a W to the chat. Can y'all please stop summoning these demons to the show? Because, I don't shy away from them, but y'all got to quit summoning these demons around me because I'm trying to have a peaceful morning. I got to eat breakfast. I got to go do so many other amazing things. And when these demons come around me, I get a little triggered. I get a little activated. W, Zeus. I'm surprised I didn't start cursing. The way that conversation, I'm surprised I didn't start cursing. You almost got me there, bro. It's sad. It really is sad when I see brothers throwing their life away for the man like Donald Trump. You could pick a better man to do that for. You could pick a better man that, do it for somebody that's actually doing something on this earth that's actually of value. But you're going to do it for Donald Trump. I sit back and I say, whatever they giving you, whatever they making you do, whatever you doing, man, it must be good because you're willing to throw your life away for this. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, DJ, you're right. I am the model of restraint. Even DJ knows it. I gotta go ahead and bring up my sister Takesha. She always does a good job stabilizing me after I encounter a demon. Hi Takesha.
Hey Zeus, how you doing?
Did you see me?
Yeah, I saw you, Zeus.
You sound thrilled. That's Takesha. And by the way, hit Takesha's Cash App, Dame, you in particular, because you should be paying us for all of this insight and information. And we know you got the money. All right, go ahead. Hit her Cash App. All right. All right, you good?
Zeus, when I found out that Dame was in the same age range as my oldest son, I stopped saying anything about Dame because I now look at Dame as a child who has a lot of growing to do and a lot of maturing to do because, I have young men myself, so I keep Dame's name out of my mouth. But Dame did something today that was real disappointing to me. Because usually when a black woman gets in, a BIPOC woman gets in the box, a white man will call her welfare. And today Dame called Dolphin welfare. And what's strange is that the welfare program was created for white women. And it was a thing not to be ashamed of, but as soon as black women started getting it, then it became something to be demeaning. And for a black man to sit up and degrade a BIPOC person saying welfare because white people have demeaned the program because now black people get it is disgusting to me.
Yeah.
It's very disgusting. I don't understand if Dame think he's white.
He do.
If he's gotten on that side and they have tricked him like he is loved and revered over there, and they're really just using him to pump up their platform. Because if he says one thing bad about Trump, they will cancel him. But to get up and demean someone who is getting welfare, a program that was created for white people that was okay until we started using it, is disgusting.
Hallelujah. Hey, somebody go get me a teacup and so I could sit it next to Dame. You seen that movie Get Out? Because that's what I think we need to start doing.
And honestly, dude, that's the last thing I'm gonna say on Dame because that right there, I listen to him. He say what he got to say. He dogs out black women. He calls them out of their name. And all that stuff. And I've been through with him with that. But what he did today was so ridiculous that it just really
he tore
did
his
something
draws
to me
with you.
because he tore his draws with me because I haven't said anything about him.
Yeah,
no matter what anybody says, I don't
nice.
comment in the chat. I don't say anything about him. But today just pushed me to another level. That was disgusting.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. W's to Takesha, and we're gonna keep. You know what? I gotta say it. Thank you, Takesha. I honestly got to say it. Thank you, because you always give him the benefit of the doubt, but you still believe in standing on what's right. And it is wrong what he is doing. Running around.
It was wrong. It was wrong.
And we're just going to leave it at that. Stop being wrong. All right? Your soul is on the line. And that's not just to Dame. That's for any of you who look up to Dame. Your soul is on the line. Stop being wrong.
It was wrong. It was wrong. But that's all I wanted to do. It really triggered. It bothered me. Like I said, I got young men around his age, so I don't speak on him because I got young men that I'm raising over here, me and their dad in their life. But I'm just saying, it's what he said today just kind of bothered me because that's usually what I see a white man say to demean a black woman. And to know that he has jumped on board with
He
that,
thinks he's white.
it did something to me for real.
Takesha, I hate to say it, but you was right. I didn't think about it at that level, but the man, dark as hell. He's dark as hell on this app. He know he black, but he runs around here like he is white. I have never, and somebody say I could get in trouble for saying it that way, but I'm saying it that way because I got to cut through that demonic stronghold he's in. Man, go look in the mirror, all right? W's in the chat for Takesha. Go look in the mirror. And I need you to honestly play that track, Man in the Mirror, and make that change. W, Takesha. I've never seen anything, but it's an example of how delusional people in America are, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we do have black people, black as hell, running around here thinking that they white. I've never seen this in my life before, and I've been around a lot of black people. When you see it at this level, they think they're so white. They defend Donald Trump being the nastiest, evil person on earth. And they say, as long as I get a little bit of that whiteness on me, I'm good. Sick.
So, Zeus, they so black. They sweat and piss oil. That's just how black they are, Zeus. I gotta go, Zeus. All right.
Woo! Hey, yeah, I'm so sorry that I went there with the race thing because that's totally against my brand. But sometimes when you running across wicked and evil spirits like that, you just gotta say things that come to you from the Father up in heaven. Y'all don't. I bet not hear any of y'all running around here and repeating that either. Now that stays on this show. That stays on this show only. But we have no other choice. We really have no other choice. And like I said, I hate to do it. I hate to do it to my own. I really do. But when you get up here and you defend Jeffrey Epstein, and you destroy and you attack black women, none of the attacks stick. You're not really winning when you attack the black women. All you're doing is strengthening our resolve. All right, moving it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, moving it along. I didn't know I was going to have to do this level of work. Good morning, Q Dog. I didn't know I was going to have to do this morning. I didn't know.
It's a shame, and I'm still trying to gather what is it about Trump that makes you no other man. You don't talk about Cash Patel. You don't talk about what's the nickname we call him? That drinks all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Him.
Yeah.
Cash. You don't talk about any other man in this administration but Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious on what does he have this has your mind solely set on. Let him do what he wants to do. You're okay with it. I still don't get it. This is a man that will look at you and watch you get.
I'll tell you, Q Dog.
Go ahead.
Hold on. And I'll tell you, and a lot of people, they say I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to show you what Trump has. And I just found it. You see that? That's a diaper. It has been scientifically proven that if you take a whiff of that diaper,
Pete Cakes, bro. That's the name I was trying.
You're looking at Pete Cakes, but look at that diaper, Q Dog. Do you see that?
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, that's what he has. That's the one thing these Trump voters want.
Damn, you're laughing, but it's sad. It's to the point. It's really sad at this point in time that you would go to the end of the earth for this white tea man. Period. Name one man of color that you have attempted to go to the face of the earth. And if you really read the Bible, if you believe in the Bible, or if you say you believe in the Bible, you do understand that Jesus was a man of color, right?
He won't do this for Jesus. Think about that, Q Dog. Wow, I didn't even think about
I'm gonna tell you this so you get a clear understanding. Where was Jesus born? Where did he grow up? Where did he preach and teach? It was in an area that you had to have melanation in your skin. Nobody that did not have melanation in their skin could survive there. Their skin would burn. So I want to see, would you go to the depths of the end of the earth for Jesus or for a man that is representation of Jesus? Because you're going to the end of the earth for this man. And we're still trying to figure this out. And to explain to you what Zeus was trying to tell you earlier, out of 65,000 files, 47,000 of them were compromised. And this administration, the DOJ, was trying to get rid of them. Why do you think that? Why do you, this is documented. This ain't no fake news. I know y'all quick to say fake news, this, that, and the other. This is documented. They won't say what those documents are, what those documentations were.
Yep.
Why would they try to get rid of them? Why won't you just, okay, I'm here it is. I'm innocent. Put it out there. But you constantly go to the ends of the earth to prove that this man that wouldn't give a darn about you if you were on fire on the street would spit on you.
I just want to ask you, what do you mean by that, Q? End of the earth. I only go to the end of the earth for Jesus Christ, bro. What are you talking about the end of the earth?
So
what do you mean by that?
So why are you still talking about, well, Trump this time? I don't believe he's wrong about everything.
Q, I didn't never say he.
But.
No, ain't no but. I never said he was innocent. That's just a part of Zeus trolling character. I just said there ain't no proof. The way y'all calling the man a graper. I said call him a con man, call him all that. I'm never gonna like make it cool that I'm supporting somebody.
Dame, I'm asking, is he human?
Of course he is. Yeah.
Okay, so why do you think that there's no proof of him doing wrong?
What do you mean?
He's human. Every human on there. See, here's the thing. When you're born into this earth, you're born in innocence, but you're born into sin. That's the reason why Jesus did what he did on Calvary. So every man has an option to choose right from wrong. And you see it every day in society, whether it's him himself or the people who follow him. And what you got to realize and understand is, if you're a person of color, from the beginning of time, I'm not talking about going back slavery before 1865. I'm talking about before AD. I'm sorry, BC, before Christ. This has been going on. What do you think? Let me ask you a question. Because we know back in the day, the pharaohs, they had their armies and they had their slaves. Why do you think that the darker skinned slaves were up under Pharaoh? Why wasn't it lighter skin? Because they had both. There's still melanation in the skin, but why was it the darker skinned slaves under Pharaoh?
Why?
You tell me. It's the same reason why you had slave masters back in the day trying to convince you what the Bible was interpreted by themselves and would unalive you if they knew you knew how to read. Why do you think that? Why do you think they threatened unalivement if they knew you knew how to read?
Because they don't want you to know the truth. They didn't want them to know the truth.
What was the truth?
That they're special. That they're not slaves. That black people are not supposed to be slaves. They took pages out of the Bible to make them think that the Bible said that they were meant to be slaves. And that's why Nat Turner, that's part of the reason why Nat Turner.
But it is in the Bible. It is
Huh?
in the Bible. It is in the Bible.
No, I know, but they changed the context in regards to the slaves and made it is in the Bible, but not. It doesn't say black people
Do
supposed
you
to be
know the
slaves.
reason? Do you know the reason why slavery was in the Bible?
Multiple reasons for debts paid, debts owed. I don't. There's a lot of reasons you could be a slave in the Bible.
Slavery is because man disobeyed God.
Woman disobeyed
it was
God.
put
Man never
down.
did.
It
The
was
woman
put down.
disobeyed
Listen
God.
to me.
The
It
man
was
never
put.
talked to
Listen to
the
me.
woman
Listen
did.
to me. The man. It was put in the Bible that it was going to be a situation that went against. There was a curse against black folks because man disobeyed God.
Woman disobeyed God. Q.
You're not
That's what you
listening.
feel in
You're
the
not
real
listening.
life.
I'm not talking about Adam and Eve. That's not what I'm
Well,
talking about.
that's the beginning. How you going to skip the beginning?
Oh,
It was the
okay,
woman. The
we
woman
already
spoke to
know
the
that.
serpent.
We already know that part.
Yeah.
But when I'm saying to you, time and time
The
again,
woman is the root
man
to all
has
of this evil, man.
disrespected and
Dame,
man has disrespected
can I say
and
something? Hold
went
on.
against God.
Can I say something? Dame, you gotta stop, dude. You gotta stop, bro.
He's missing the point.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Zeus? Zeus, why did God never talk directly to a woman in the Bible? Why did he only talk to Eve? I mean, Adam. Why didn't he talk directly?
Well,
because he knew. Because she talked to the serpent.
And this right.
Adam talked to God. Eve talked to serpent.
Dame.
There's women that would tell you that their intentions are wrong.
Is that what you think?
Dame,
No, that's what I know.
Dame, number one, I don't think you're reading the book of Genesis accurately. Number one.
He's not.
Number two, if you do follow the order, then why did Adam disobey God?
Because
and he blamed the woman when it was really him.
Look, bro, I know y'all hate men and y'all are male feminists, bro.
And why did he create woman if you go down that path?
Because Adam was by himself. I'm not saying all women.
I'll take it a step further.
Look, I'm not saying women are bad. I'm not saying all women are evil.
You literally just said.
He said, I just corrected him
Adam
because he said because man sinned. As if man did the original.
And you don't know if God ever spoke to Eve or not.
Dame, who was Lucifer originally?
He was an angel, bro. But who did Lucifer?
He was what kind of? He was what?
He was the angel of. He was the over music. He was the beautiful angel over the music.
He was the head angel.
Yes, over music.
He was the head angel until he got to the point where he felt that he could overrule God's laws and become God.
Okay, and when he became when he came to the earth, he became a serpent. Q. Who did he approach?
Him out of heaven.
Did he approach Adam or did he approach Eve? Q.
It doesn't matter who he approached. The point of the matter is, hold on.
Bro, why are y'all scared of women, man?
The point of the matter was,
hold on.
The Eve was Adam's rib.
Yes.
So when you take from that rib,
we go through this.
What happens?
We go through this together. Hold on. We go.
Yeah.
The fall. Let's go. We could go through this together with Brother Dame. All right. He who has ears to hear.
Takesha want to come up, Zeus.
Come on, man. We ain't got to do it.
I'm doing it right here. So this is the fall, Genesis chapter 3. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God really say, 'You must not eat from any tree in the garden'?" The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat the fruit from the tree in the garden, but God did say, 'You must not eat the fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it or you will die.' 'You will not certainly die,' the serpent said to the woman, 'for God knows that when ye eat, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil.' When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it.
Bingo.
She also gave some to Dame, who was with her. So Dame was literally there the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. The woman. It's
no.
If it wasn't for the woman, bro, Adam would
Hold on, Dave. You arguing with the Bible now. This is your source. So she gave some to Dame, who was with her, and he ate it like a fool. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done
Adam.
with you, Dame.
Yeah,
Dame, come on. You
Adam-
can't be coming
Adam
up
should have led
here.
her
Dame, you
better.
can't be coming up here swerving through these scriptures like that and think folks can't read. See, this is the problem.
Where he's not getting Zeus and where he's skipping the part of the devil, Satan, Lucifer.
I can't.
He was the original one.
I can't deal with these dudes.
that went against God. He convinced
I'm done with this dude.
Eve.
Like if
Eve
I'm so
convinced
disrespectful
Adam.
and stuff,
Zeus-
why do
Zeus
you want to engage with me? I
Listen
don't get
to me.
these women,
It's-
man. I
I'm
just
not
don't.
I'm not finna engage with you, Dame. I just want to make a correction because I don't like when people add stuff to the Bible. Zeus, let me say it to you.
Yeah.
This is the order. Christ is the head of the man. The man is the head of the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever goes on with that woman under that head falls on the head. God gave the commandment to Adam. It don't matter what Eve did.
Wow.
Once the head,
Thank you.
once the head messed
kind of
up, guess what, Zeus?
What's that?
That's when their eyes were open. It didn't open after Eve ate.
That
It was
third
open
eye.
after Adam ate. It said after Adam ate.
You should go
After Adam ate,
You got
the Bible says their eyes were open
Oh.
because the man is the head. If I mess up in my house, God ain't gonna hold me responsible. He's gonna hold the man because he's the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop changing the Bible.
Thank you.
Do you understand it now, Dame?
The man disobeyed by eating when God told him not to. We're not the head. We are the help meet. Doesn't matter if you give me some money to pay a bill
No
and I don't
accountability,
pay
bro.
it and the lights get cut off.
Crazy.
God ain't holding me responsible. He's holding the head.
You gotta say Dame.
I'm
when you-
done, Zeus.
Thank you.
I just need to correct that. And then to do with Eve,
Thank
it
you.
all fell on Adam.
Wow.
Thank you.
Even
Thank you.
Eve can't
Thank
take
you.
accountability.
No,
Thank you,
Bro,
Nikki.
y'all can't take accountability even to the root.
Dang,
That's
dang,
crazy work.
Dame.
That's diabolical.
Dame.
You don't know the Bible, sir.
Dame. Before
Eve
God
didn't have to take
before God-
accountability,
hold on,
and
hold on,
women
hold on,
today
listen.
don't take it. Lord,
Oh my
have
gosh.
Don't
mercy.
be lifting, bro.
Oh,
Don't
Lord.
be lifting. Listen to me, bro.
Uh-oh.
Before
We got a few minutes, then I gotta go. Go ahead, let's wrap it up.
2 seconds. Before Eve was created, what did God tell Adam to do?
Take care of the garden.
What did he tell him not to do?
Don't eat the fruit.
Okay, so when he created Eve, who was bamboozled by
Thank you very
Lucifer, man, head angel that was kicked out of heaven,
I hate to do this morning, but wow.
who initially went ahead and took a bite of the forbidden fruit.
He
We
would
just heard it, bro. It was Eve, and Eve
No,
told Adam.
Who convinced Adam
Eve
to do
convinced
it?
Adam, bro. Yes, he was.
No,
Adam was a rookie for a while.
We never read it. We never read she convinced him. Adam was there the
Exactly.
whole time. Dame was there
Exactly.
watching the crime be committed the entire
Bro,
time and didn't say nothing.
No,
just like he doing.
Do you know
just and actually,
Zeus, do you know
doing
the
it-
actual
hold up.
scripture?
You doing the same thing with the
no,
Epstein
scripture broke it.
files.
Bro, I know this by
You
heart.
doing the same-
scripture
oh,
broke
Dame,
it down.
Dame,
Q,
you doing the same thing with the
I
Epstein
can say this
files.
in
But
3
Adam-
seconds. The
Adam
Bible
still
literally
had-
says that
Adam
that
still
Eve
had the law
Eve
given to
convinced him that they would have all of the power.
No, Eve
The
did
Bible
not do
literally
that.
says that.
No, it didn't.
Eve told Adam,
Dame,
if we eat this, the serpent said we will have all the powers of God.
What
we will
verse are
have
you
all
reading?
of the
What
knowledge.
verse are you reading?
That's exactly what she told
What
Adam.
verse was that in?
Literally.
What verse?
So you
Genesis, bro.
What verse?
She told Adam,
Give me Bible
the serpent
chapter
said
and
we
verse.
will have the knowledge of good and evil.
Okay, Dame. So you just gonna make up
So
scriptures?
you
Not
give
gonna work.
excuses for Adam to disobey God? That's an
Oh,
excuse.
my God,
Look at this.
Q.
Look at. I gotta
Was that
go.
an excuse you gave?
I gotta go, you
Because
two.
the thing is,
My
wait a minute.
time is
The thing
came.
was,
We'll finish this another day.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Big Zeus. I didn't know
you
we
guys,
were.
you gotta go back and read.
Thank you,
Genesis.
Q
Go
Dog.
back
I
and
am
read
Q. I'm gonna holler at you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. I got to get up out here. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you all enjoyed today's show. We went a lot of different random places, but hey, Dame, I want you to make sure you understand that Adam was there with Eve. when the crime was committed and he didn't do his job as the man. You see how this works? And similarly, Dame, you're in the same situation. You got the spirit of Adam in you. You see the evidence in the Epstein files, and you're going to sit there and watch the crimes be committed and still try to think you can get out of it by blaming the woman. It's not going to work, Dame. Adam already tried it. You're thousands and thousands of years behind, all right? With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you all a huge round of applause. Thank you for tuning in to today's show. It was an amazing show, honestly. We got through a lot of difficult stuff on this show this morning. Seriously, I can't believe it. I want to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and analysts. Yeah, JD Cakes, he hasn't read the Bible. He has not read the Bible. Also, but on a serious note, I want to give one last round of boost and shame, and this goes to all of the Zeus haters out there. They know exactly who they are. They lie, they cheat, they steal, they do everything the Bible tells them not to do, but then they get on TikTok and try to pretend like they are God-fearing Christians. No, you're not, you're devils. Ladies and gentlemen, join me giving one last round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. Thank you, Tara. Wow.
Silence.
All right, that's a huge W, Zeus. W. Oh, thank you, Dane. I knew you had it in you. Should have gave it to Takesha though, because she's been schooling or Q Dog. There you go. Oh my gosh. All right, we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your morning. Y'all stay away from men out there who continue to blame. All right, whether it's you or Joe Biden, stay away from them. All right. Have a great rest of your morning. Thank you, everyone. What a show. What about Biden? Thank you, everybody. Oh, we cooked this book. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind. Oh, hold on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that, Rick. You muted that demon, rightfully so. I'll never let you come near me. Not interested. Can't finish a sentence. Puppet on strings, who pulling the leverage? Hunter's laptop. Bullets and deals. China cash flow, million concealed. Family getting pain, influence pedal while we out here struggling. Pockets unsettled. Weaponized W FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago storm, 100 gets praised. January 6th, locking up brands. But Joe specified dots in his garage, man. Keystone cancel, energy weak. Depending on foes, gas $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets. Defund the police. Chaos complete. Hey. Keep your sons away from Dame. What about Biden? Borders wide open, let them flood it. Millions crossing, drugs pouring. Where we begin? What about Biden? What about it? Style, inflation wild. Economy dying, can't feed your child. What about Biden? Afghanistan mess left on behind. Here it goes. Cold as the days. Love you too. I love you all, seriously. It's shows like this that are actually having an impact, believe it or not. All right, we'll keep doing what we got to do. Thank you, everyone, seriously. I wish I could have talked to all of you, but I honestly have to get up out of here and go. What about Biden? Have a great rest of your morning, ladies and gentlemen. I love you too. Take care, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Same Zeus channel, same Zeus time.